Woohoo! Finally. Hello, can anybody see me? If you hello, very quickly. The network is really messing up things. Hi, my name is Tega. Good evening. It's been an amazing evening. I will not see anything otherwise. Back to back to back network is trying to mess with what we're going to do, but we will educate. We will not stop. We will say what we want to say today. There's no way that you're going to stop me. And to Wendy, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't know how you're able to gather so many people in this place. Sister Folake, thank you for coming in. Oh, my sister Tolu, it's so nice to see you. Hi, Gold. Thank you guys for joining in on the broadcast. Anyway, it's been an amazing evening. The devil didn't want me to do this broadcast, I'm so sure, but we will talk about what we're meant to talk about today. There's so much that we need to know. I don't know how you're able to gather so many speakers. Auntie Wendy, you're doing an amazing job, and God will bless you. God will bless you. I used to admire you from far, wondering who this woman is. The next thing, you now sent me a message and say I should come and speak. I said, Genge, when I've been looking at you from far and thinking about how you are my mentor, now you want me to come and speak on your platform. It's okay. It's a good thing that a lot of people are waking up to this kind of thing. It's a good thing. I'm particularly happy because there are things that a lot of parents are getting wrong because we think we're being sophisticated. But the truth is, we are breeding a lot of children that will give us a lot of problems later if we don't begin to do the things that we're meant to do right. Okay, so my name is Tega, and I am an educator, I am an interventionist, I am a counselor, drug abuse counsel being my core. Drug abuse counseling is my core. I'm a writer, and today I'd like to talk about why education on drug use is very important. Somehow, we're even in the week of the International Day Against Drug Use, and I've been going back to back to back to schools or radio stations, just speaking, raising awareness concerning drug use and drug abuse. I was in a school today, and when I asked a few questions, I was asking them, what is drug abuse? Does anybody know what drug use is? And then, yeah, some of them came up and they were talking. Now, there were a few students that were trying to form like they don't know what we're talking about. I was a bit worried because I was thinking that, am I going to be exposing them to stuff? But after a while, when I began to actually speak and ask a few questions, they started to respond to me. And the response made it obvious that they knew what I was talking about. Now, the one that touches me the most is parents that are shielding their children from, this matter. Don't shield your children from it, because your children are going to mix with children that already know about this. And what you don't teach them, those children out there will teach them. And what those children are going to teach them is not what you want your children to know. It's not what you want your children to learn. So we need to educate them by ourselves. You go and do the study. You go and do the research. You go and find out everything. Find out what you need to find out. But sit your children down and let them know what they need to know. Now, not long ago, I'm going to be feeding you with a lot of stories so that you understand why you need to, teach your children, why you need to educate them. Last year, when I started this campaign, because it's something that I started to do last year. Before then, I had only talked about this in church, giving a testimony in church on how my life was changed, how my life was transformed, and all of that. But after a while, we began to, think about it. So what's the solution? We can't just keep saying, this is what happened, this is what God did for me, the other, but we don't now have profile the solution to the problem, this prevailing problem. Last year, when I went for a conference, I had this person that sat with me, and then he started to talk about what he had done when he was younger. His parents are pastors, And then one time they were traveling, and his mom was complaining that he was driving too fast. And he got really irritated because he was high and he needed to finish the speedometer. You know, when they say finish the speedometer, you must get to the very end. If it's 240 kilometers per hour, you wanted to match it to the end and let it reach that 240 per kilometer. So his mom was disturbing him with his younger brother. He just gave them a bottle of Coke to drink. And then his mother and his father slept. His mother and his, hi, Uncle Richard. Hi, Jane. Hi, nice to see you here. Just decided that, okay, it's time for them to sleep off. And they slept until they reached where they were going. They got to where they were going in half the time. When they woke up, they said, you went really fast though. He said, yes, yeah, you people were sleeping, you slept for long. They didn't sleep for long. The boy mixed his benylin with codeine inside the Coke and gave to his mother to drink. Now, if his mother had any clue what was going on, somebody will give you something to drink like that, you will taste it. Now, what did you put inside this thing? Why are you driving so fast? What is the problem? Why exactly are you acting the way that you are acting? But the mother herself wasn't looking. She wasn't checking. The mother is not doing any research. The mother is not trying to know what will make her child better. She has buried her head in the sand, thinking that her body is not showing. In her mind, she's an ostrich. She's not a human being. Because if not, God has given you children in your hands and has told you that you are a custodian of these children. And then you leave them to chance for the world to influence. You will give account for that boy that you allow to finish speedometer. You will give account. Not long ago, I was talking to one boy as well. This boy, his father has houses all over the place. He decided that he wanted to sell the one his father barely enters in Abuja. This house was about, maybe, they said it was about 200 million, somewhere in the heart of Maitama. And he sold the house 2.5 million naira because he wanted to do what he wanted to do. He needed money to do his drugs. His father is busy. His mother is too timid to talk. She can't even do anything. She doesn't know what is going on. All she wants to do is be helpless and be pretty and wear clothes and just move around. I'm not saying that if you are a stay-home mom, it is a wrong thing. I am saying that, in fact, you have more time to see your children. This boy sold the house for 2.5 million, gave them, the person he sold the house to, original papers. He gave them the original papers. As soon as he gave them papers, I don't know how the father found out, probably security man, when they were moving stuff out, found out that they've sold the house, and they contacted daddy. Daddy runs back to the city of Abuja. What's going on here? This is what's happening. Oh, the boy has sold house on our head. Oh, let us find the person. There's nothing they could do to the boy because the boy was already zoned out. It was high. He has finished the 2.5 M on top of how many things on how many days. And then they call the person that they sell the house to and say, hello, this is what you've done. My son was not in his right mind when he sold the house to you. Is it possible we buy the house back from him? In fact, we will double the amount of money that you paid to him. You gave him 2.5, we'll give you 5 million naira. Please give us the house back, because that house has been in the family for such a long time and he knew the value of this house. This man said to them, I am sorry, I am not going to take 5 million naira from you. I will take the house at 199 million naira. Just because some parents were not watching their child. They went to court. When they got to court, the man had legal papers. He even had receipts. He had to go and settle out of court. If the guy was going to give them, let him give to them. Unfortunately, he said if it is not the 199, he's not selling. Why would the father want to pay 190? I will sell the boy. I will sell the boy. I tell him, take this boy. I don't want. Because this boy, if he can sell that house, he will sell all of us one by one. Because you didn't take the time to educate your child. Because you didn't take the time to let your child know that these things are wrong. A while ago, they were talking about these sweets. I wish I had pictures. Very soon I'm going to start keeping all those drugs so that when I do videos like this, I can show you what they look like, parents, so that when you see them, you know what they are. Now they're called, I don't know, I think they're called teddy candies or something like that, teddy pills. They're very cute, pink, pretty colors, pink, blue, yellow, very pretty. And then they offered everybody in the party. As soon as you come in, they're offering you, they're like Tic Tacs, they're helping you freshen your breath. And then all of them are popping this thing. And then after a while, they just left a tray on the table in the party. Pick as you like. And it's so sweet. So the children were just taking it. It looks good. It tastes good. They were taking it until all the children started misbehaving in the place. One of them passed out, they hospitalized the boy. Then they did a drug test on how many of them that had been misbehaving, and then they found out that they had been using drugs. It was from those pills because they tested the pills. Now, if you let your child know that when you go to a party, they give you a drink, you do not drink any drink you did not open, your child will listen to you. I believe very soon that they should actually put drug education in the school curriculum, especially with guidance counselors, maybe once a week or twice a week or once a month, or look for people that educate us for them to go to schools to talk about this thing extensively. The reason why I'm saying this is because if parents think that they are very uncomfortable, they don't know how to talk about this with their children, look for someone that is going to help you talk to your child. Find someone, because let me tell you the thing about teachers and children. Have you ever noticed that when you're talking to your child, you want to help your child with homework, you say this is how to do it, your child will say, no, my teacher said this is how it should be done, and they want to follow what their teacher said. That is how important education is. And that is why they should integrate it into the school curriculum as far as I am concerned. Let the schools begin to teach on these things. We have copied and copied and copied, that we have copied even the things that are taking us to our graves. One woman looked for a child for how many years? Eventually had the child. The child came and then she indulged him in all sorts. He wants anything, it's okay, you can have it. I waited for you for so long. Have anything you want to have. Ask Samson in the Bible. I'm sure they indulged Samson to the point that he could get anything that he wanted. He ended up meeting Delilah. When this woman indulged her son, she knew he started using drugs. Because, of course, she was giving him money for everything. She wasn't letting him know that he had boundaries. And then this boy eventually overdosed on drugs, was in a coma for days. Eventually he died. Only child. My older sister waited for a few years before she had her first son. She came to Abuja recently and she and I were talking. And then we were talking about, when you wait for a child for a while and how it's so easy to want to spoil the child. And she said to me, Tega, it's very easy. It's very tempting to want to spoil the child because you're thinking, I waited for you for so long. Let me just leave you to do what you want to do. Let me not offend you. But when you think about the future, when you think about this child's tomorrow, you will look at it and say, no, it's okay. It's okay for me to beat you. It's okay for me to educate you. It's okay for me to teach you so that tomorrow you will not bring shame to me. Some of us were lucky and we met laborers that were sent to us to shape us and mold us. Some of us don't get that lucky. Before we get to the laborers, many parents have missed it, not because they want to, but it's the situation of life. Everybody's working. Everybody's looking for more money. Things appear to be so hard. Everybody's looking for how to just make ends meet. Because think about it, if daddy is bringing 10,000, mom is bringing 10,000, that's 20,000 now, as opposed to daddy's only 10,000. So mommy has to work as well. But I'm not saying that mommy shouldn't. There's something about, a bad child is the mother's child. A bad child is the mother's child. That's why women are the ones that should pay more attention. Can you remember those two women in the Bible? I like to use that illustration quite a bit. Those two women in the Bible with King Solomon, when one of them laid down her child and killed the child, and then she now moved the other one to the side to that other one and picked her own, the other one's child. When that one woke up in the morning, she looked at the child and said, this is not my child. At what point do you know that your child has changed? At what point do you realize that this child that used to come first in class, your grades have dropped so very badly? What's going on with you? This child that used to be so bubbly, you have become so withdrawn. What's going on with you? This child that used to be, all of a sudden, you can't even stay still in my presence. What is going on with you? All of a sudden, your child just wants to keep locking doors, really? All of a sudden, he wants to hide things. All of a sudden, when he enters, he's reading the Bible. When your child begins to do some kind of things that's sneaky, just check. He's hiding something. One boy, I went to their house to speak to him. His mom had called me. When I got to the house, I was speaking to him. His dad just burst in. He said, this boy that made me think that there was a pharmaceutical factory next door. I said, so how do you mean? He said they just decided to clear the bush by the side of the house. And I saw bottles of codeine. I even thought that maybe it's a pharmaceutical factory that was moving into this place. Not knowing it was my son that was drinking all those bottles of codeine under your nose. Then I asked the young man, I said, so how do you do this? He says, nobody knows. He just locks himself in his room. His parents are busy, blah, 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 blah. Teach your children so that the world will not teach your child what to do. When I was younger, it's not like I'm old now. When I was much younger, there was one time we went clubbing. We used to club hop. That kind, you go from club to club to club in one night. If you don't reach like 10 clubs, but the night has not started now. And then when you are done around 6 o'clock, you are the one that will help the DJ and pack his things, because you'll be there till 6 a.m. when everywhere is getting bright. Your mates are bathing and going to work. You are just on your way home from clubbing. We're there in one of those clubs one day, and then this girl comes in crying. What's going on with you? My boyfriend, I just saw my boyfriend with another girl. And then the girl looked at her and said, so now you're feeling bad. Don't feel bad. She didn't know her from anywhere. Don't feel bad now. Don't feel bad. Let me give you something to make you feel good. Anything to just make me feel good. And she gave her. And that's how they became good friends, exchange numbers. I tell you not, I know one of them so well. The girl is still a junkie till tomorrow. She's still a drug user till tomorrow. If you tell your child, hello darling, if anything happens to you, come home to mommy, come home to daddy. There's nothing you will tell me on the face of the earth that I will not take. I will stand by you. I may scold you, I may teach you, I may correct you, but I am here. I am your backbone. I am your friend. Come home. Tell me what it is. I will stand by you. I will correct you, but I will stand by you. Nobody is going to give your child something to make her feel good. Her feel-good pill will be, let me call my mommy and talk to my mommy. Let me call my daddy and talk to my daddy. If I tell my daddy this thing, my daddy will tell me exactly what to do and it will work. Parents, you need to get closer to your children. Watch a bit more. Watch a bit more. Just look a bit more closely. Don't leave them. Your child may have a temper from beginning and you'll be saying, oh, I'm leaving. He gets angry. I don't like the way he shouts at me. So I just leave him alone. Let him not embarrass me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to tell you. But the time when you could have slapped that anger out of your child has passed. You cannot slap him again. That time has passed. You can't slap him again. He will bring the drugs into your house. I know of one woman that has 3 sons, all 3 boys on drugs, not small drugs, serious drugs. They carried one day, they went to pick their mother from church. It's a minister in a church. They picked her up from church. As they were going home, they needed to buy their fix for the night. They stopped at their dealer's place with their mother in the car. These children are not afraid of you anymore. They're not afraid. One day my sister called, the one that brought me up. I was in Lagos. She called on the phone. I picked the phone. I was kneeling down. Me, Goma. I had to remind myself that she's not in front of me. I missed my way, but I'm telling you, that voice, that beating, all those things. I'm not saying that you should beat your children if you don't want to. But there are some things, words of correction that are like an anchor. It pins you down. No matter how far you go, you will come back. You will come back. We should go back to the days of discipline. You can discipline your child without beating your child. I'm so sure that if you let your child know, I'm disappointed in what you have done, the child will understand. There are languages to use on your teens. You can tell them, I'm disappointed in this thing that you have done. You could have done better. Not, I am disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you, you're attacking the person. But I'm disappointed in what you have done, I'm attacking your action, which means that you should do better. Attacking the person means that the person is a failure and the person will not think that the person is any better. And no matter what it is, when you keep saying stuff, anything you keep saying to your child, the child begins to internalize. But if you let the child know that this thing that you have done, you're better than this, you're better than this, the child will know that is not my character that my mommy is attacking. It is what I've done, and it's because I can do better. Now, there are many words that people use. Now, let's start the expo now. Many of these street terms that they use, you'll just be there, your child will be saying, that schoolboy, let's go and call that schoolboy, my dear. It's drugs they're talking about. Schoolboy is a drug. When you hear TM, it's not TM Louis shirts, it's tramadol. When you hear coda, it is not coda, the what they call that thing, the Hausa term for kidney, I think. It is codeine. When you hear cocoa, it is codeine. When you hear kush, it is weed. When you hear there's so many. When you hear kush, when you hear Arizona, when you hear ecstasy is the same thing. When you hear Arizona, you know what it is. When you hear Igbo, everybody knows what Igbo is now. You say wee wee. It's not because he wants to pee. It's weed he's talking about. There's Mary and Joan. Mary and Joan, it's not their friend. Mary is not their friend. It's not Joan that is their friend. It's weed. Yes. They call it Bendel Market. They call it Blaze, Yo-Yo, Skunk, Green Leaf. When they say green leaf, they're not talking about celery, darling. They're talking about weed. There's so many words that they use. There's so many things that they do. When you see that your child just wants to have sleepovers in one particular friend's house, meanwhile, you don't know the child's parents, so you go to the child's house, the parents are hardly around. Keep your child in your house, especially if you know that you've not done as much homework as you should have. A few weeks ago, my sister was talking about my niece. Netta wanted to go for sleepover. She told her, she said, sorry, you can't.